come back and then
today is gonna be the hardest game. Today in Game 6. You know, if they win today, they'll win back in Toronto. There's no way they're gonna lose in Toronto.
Yeah, exactly.
An elimination game.
It's recorded.
Huh? Oh.
Okay.
Let's try this again.
All right. What's up, guys? This is Jutan, and this is Ahmed from championculture.com. So I had a little bit of an insurance mishap.
Yeah, I got a little fight with your insurance company, I heard.
Yeah, they like to screw around. But yeah, so I compiled a list of my own questions to ask Ahmed, which is our insurance analyst. So we can...
Former insurance analyst.
Former insurance. Man did a great job.
Yeah, so go ahead, let's jump into this sexy world of insurance. What questions you got?
Cool. Alright, so number one, how does auto insurance work?
Okay, so it's pretty straightforward. They work through what they like to call a pool of funds. So essentially what they'll say is, they'll take where maybe you live and 5 postal codes around you, and you guys will all be considered one pool. And all the premiums you and your neighbors pay will go into that pool. If you guys ever have to make a claim, you take money from the pool.
Oh, I see.
So that's pretty much essentially it. It's just a pool of funds. So a lot of people think that they're paying by themselves into that pool, but it's not the case. If you think about it, it's a collective of like you and maybe 300-400 other people. Because if you think about it, there are some claims that are like $100,000 in benefits, right? Yeah. You're never going to pay $100,000 in auto insurance. No. So there's no way an insurance company can work like that. So that's why they have it as a pool where 300-400 people can pay that much. You know what I mean? If they're each paying $200-300 a month, I don't know. Our rates are pretty crazy here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's pretty much how auto insurance works in the province of Ontario. It's a pool of funds.
Okay. So why do premiums go up and down? Like, why do they fluctuate?
Yeah. So the 2 biggest reasons are either through at-fault accidents. So that's if you get into an accident and it's labeled your fault. That could either be a 50% rating or a 100% rating. Lots of people think 50-50 ratings aren't their fault. It's still your fault. And same thing with 100%, obviously, that's your fault. And then convictions as well. One thing I want to harp on, I used to get a lot of clients who say, hey, but I took this to court and I got the penalty lowered. So why am I still being rated for insurance? If you pay anything, even if it's $1 towards any sort of ticket or conviction, it's going to count against you in insurance. The only time a ticket won't count against you is if it gets totally dropped, you don't pay a dime.
That makes sense.
So those are the 2 biggest reasons why auto insurance goes up.
Oh, okay. So why do rates? So like you said, it was a big like pool. You're not the only one. So why do they change by location?
By location. Yeah, that's a great question. I used to get that all the time as well. So essentially, different areas for whatever reason have higher claim rates than other areas. So for example, Brampton is sort of notorious for having the most at-fault collisions in the entire province. Wow. So I don't know if...
Brampton, what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know who's driving in Brampton or what kind of potholes you guys are dealing with. But for whatever reason, I can't tell you how many accidents I see in Brampton. Yeah. So insurance companies know that. So they know as soon as you move to areas like Mississauga is pretty high, North York, Scarborough. It's surprising. The downtown core, for whatever reason, isn't expensive on car insurance. I think it's because there's so much traffic that even if you do get into an accident, it's like a $500 little fender bender. Yeah. But for whatever reason, these other cities, they're pretty major collisions.
They're more spread open.
So when you move into an area like that versus say like Muskoka or Barrie, where you're the only one driving and the only thing you can do is like run over a deer, there's not going to be much of an increase in or much of a chance of a collision as opposed to there when you're in a city where there's tons of accidents. So again, you're moving into a pool of funds where no one was paying claims, and now you're switching into a pool of funds where everyone is collecting premium and claims.
I see.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Okay, so this is a more like question that everybody I think wants to know. Which cars cost the most on insurance, and does color matter at all?
Yeah, so that's a good one too. I can't. How many young people I get who call in and like, can I get a quote on my Subaru and a Honda and whatever's cheapest I'm gonna buy. So Japanese cars tend to be pretty expensive on insurance. Cars though, not vans. So vans and trucks right away I can tell you are almost always going to be cheaper than a sedan on car insurance. They're bigger, they're safer. If you're in a big Ford F-150, and you get into an accident with the guy in a smart car.
Yeah.
I'm praying for the guy in the smart car.
Yeah,
the guy in the F-150 is okay.
He's pretty good, yeah.
He's alright. So, and especially because accident benefits is the most expensive part of it. If you look through your OAP, your insurance form, where you see what all your benefits are, they'll even break down your premiums. So if you're paying $1,000 a year, let's say, on insurance, accident benefits is gonna come up with $700 or $800 of that $1,000. So literally like 80% of your premium goes towards, if I was in an accident, pay my income replacement, pay my medical benefits and all that. So depending on which car you drive, how are their safety features? How are their safety ratings? You know, the new Lexuses, they're so cheap on insurance now because they have those backup cameras where if you back into something and it goes like beep, 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 and then like you avoid the accident.
Yeah, automatic.
So lots of people are buying newer cars and their insurance rates are going down because technology it's unbelievable. It's crazy what these cars can do.
They can last like 5 years.
They can park themselves. They can tell you if someone's in your blind spot. They can tell you if you're backing up. You get the rear view camera and a sound that says no, someone. So a lot of newer cars are starting to get better safety ratings.
Yeah.
So that's the number one I would check on. Make sure if your car is a big car, it's going to be less on insurance, and if your car has really good safety ratings, also going to be less on insurance. There's a website. What's it called? FSCO, and IBC, Insurance Bureau of Canada. Those two websites have a list of every vehicle that can be sold in Canada with its safety ratings. So the higher the safety ratings, the less on insurance. It's a free website. It's run by Ontario, the government. So and that's where insurance companies they literally take their ratings and plug it into their systems. So the insurance companies don't even come up with the ratings themselves.
Oh, okay, well, that's good to know. Where do you see auto insurance in the next 5 years?
So I know the Ontario government set a mandate for insurance to come down, I think 15%.
Yeah.
What you need to understand is it's an overall 15%.
Yeah. So
of the entire insurance industry. So some insurance companies won't even have to lower their premiums at all. Some insurance companies will have to because think about it like this. When you do a quote online, the variance must be like unbelievable. Like you probably see some insurance companies that are offering you like $350 a month.
Yeah.
And then some go as high as $800 a month.
Yeah.
It's gonna be those companies that are offering $800 a month that have to be doing most of the cutting. Okay. So all they're doing is really just going back into they're
making
they're just making the variance smaller, but the cheapest range isn't gonna get any lower. It's just the expensive range that's gonna come down, so it's just more of a level playing field, right? So that's how they get you. I know, right? Sneaky guys.
Ontario.
So my previous insurance company actually got approved for a rate increase because we were so cheap that we during this 15% cut, we were approved to increase our rates. Wow. I'm not gonna say any names, but. Yeah,
wow.
So that's something you're gonna be on the lookout for. So I think rates are probably gonna be here to change. They're gonna just stay level with inflation until we get in control of all the frauds and the scams that are sort of scamming out the insurance companies with physiotherapy, chiropractors. Until you get that controlled, I don't see insurance rates changing in Ontario. I think they're gonna just stay level with inflation, despite this 15% overall reduction.
Wow.
But that's just my opinion.
Politics.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right. Well, cool. That's all the time we have for today.
Excellent, man. Any other insurance questions? Feel free to email us on Champion Culture or anything like that, guys. I'd be glad to help you out, man.
Again, my name is Jutan. This is Ahmed. ChampionCulture.com. Until next time, champions. Have a good one.
I was getting into it,
I know. That's why I didn't want to say anything.
You know what I was pretending? I was pretending like I was back at work. That's why I even said great question, because that's what I'm supposed to say to customers, right?